Hello, it's been a while since I recorded one of these, so let's take a look at one of my mod nations. I do not remember why, but at some point in my so-called Dominions career, I decided to make a nation based on the Master of Orion species, the Sacra. And I started from the late age. So this is early age Sssla, Caverns of Filth, that came much later. And honestly, this is one of my least favorite mod nations of mine. But let's take a look at it. But just keep in mind that it's going to get better later. At least I think so. So the thing of this nation is disease. Everything is revolving about disease. Let's take a look at our starting site. We have 3 death gems, 2 nature gems, 1 water gem. And our units. As you can see, it's quite easy to make Sacras. You just take a Ctesian Lizardman and make it purple. That's the same as the Lizardman, but with some disease resistance. And purple. We have a light spearman, of course. There's not much to talk about, and not much in terms of armor, just nature protection. Sakura spearman, who has armor, actually, has full chain armor in early age. That's quite good, I think. We have Sakura archers, just normal archers. Filth inured warriors, who are completely disease resistant. And they have falchions and quite good armor. I did not remember giving the Sakura this much armor. Then we have the plague archers, who are disease immune, who are sacred, and they have filth bows that spread disease. So even if they fail to kill, they still infect. And they have no armor, and they can be recruited anywhere. So I guess that's something new. Sacred archers, sacred recruitable anywhere archers. Oh, by the way, they are also able to see in the dark, because Sakura are a subterranean species. Then we have our monsters, Otiags, you know, from the D&D's monster manual, who have 3 attacks, 2 disease tentacles that again spread disease and bite. They have some resistance to poison, immunity to disease, undisciplined. They need not eat because they eat garbage. And they have dark vision, size 3, 30 gold, 30 hit points, just a little bit of natural protection, and quite poor stats. Then we have the Oozing Otiag, who have Slimer. That's a rare tag. And they are a bit more expensive. And we have our capital only sacred, Gulgut Hydra. I think that's a monster from Monsters of Pharaoh or some other Forgotten Realms blood book. And of course, it has a additional pair of disease tentacles, and all the Hydra stuff. Regeneration, fear, slash resistant, pierce resistant, poison resistant, cold-blooded, swarm survival, recuperation, animal, dark vision, plague carrier, so it has a disease cloud, undisciplined, disease resistant, and unsurroundable. And just like normal hydras, they lose heads. I guess that's cool. Our commanders are the Sakra Scout. There's nothing to talk about here. Sakra Commander, again, nothing to talk about here. Neo Otiag, so it's an Otiag but smarter. And it can lead some troops. Sakra Priest, just a Holy One priest. Filth Priest, Holy 2, Death 1, sometimes Death 2. And this is immune, so that's something more exciting than just Holy One. Then we have the Primitive Alchemist. If you have played Master of Orion 3, you remember that the Sakra look very much different from what they looked like in Master of Orion 2. So I have decided that the Master of Orion 3 shape is their primitive, original shape, and they will return to it in the late age. So the late age is based on Master of Orion 3, and the others are based on Master of Orion 2. I haven't actually played the first game. So the Primitive Alchemists, they are poor amphibians, because the Sakra are descended from the Trilarians, who are an aquatic species. They have some disease resistance, dark vision, supply bonus, cold-blooded, poor amphibian, water nature 1, and 1 guaranteed random of one or the other. And since they are alchemists, they have K-Fire Bottle. Primitive Boil Mage. Fire 1, Water 2, and sometimes Fire 2. So they can cast acid spells. And that's rare. Purist. Nature 1, Blood 1, and not sometimes, a guaranteed nature of blood random. And they are heretics. Yes. So they lower dominion, and they are adept crossbreeders. We will see much more crossbreeding in the Middle Age. The Cancer Mage, you know, like the prestige class from the Book of Wild Darkness. Death 1, Nature 2, sometimes Death 2, and they are sacred. That's it, I guess. And we have the capital, slow to recruit, Plaguebringer, Death 3, Nature 2, sometimes Death 4 or Nature 3, and they are sacred. Just as I told you at the start, it's quite boring, I think. Do you have any oh, it's one of those nations that I forgot to give a lot of pretenders. I should fix that someday. So you have a choice at least. Now let's take a look at our national spells. Conjuration. In Conjuration 1, add Death to Nature 1 for 6 gems, We have Summon Life Leech Otiags. This is a monster from Monster Manual 3 for Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. 4+. Conjuration 3, Nature 2, Death 2, 7 Nature Gems, Summon Greater Otiag, one of them. Conjuration 6, Death 3, for 2 gems, Summon Corpse Feaster Otiag. And Death 3, 10 gems, Send Plague Bearer Otiag. So this is a remote summon. It sends a stealthy commander that spreads plague and kills population. So if you want to be a dick to somebody, cast the spell. Okay. Alteration 1. Nature 2 for gems, Otiag Mutation. 6+ mutant Otiags. And there's 3 variations. We'll see them later. Alteration 2, we have Enhanced Disease for 10 Death Gems, Death Nature 1. That basically summons 5+ giant amoebas. Alteration 6 for Death 4, Nature 2 for 7 gems, we have Winds of Wasting. So it spreads disease. Yep. Alteration 7, Death 3, Nature 2 for 1 gems, we have Epidemic. So this is a combat spell. Evocation 2. We have Filth Spray. Basically this is a nether dars that spreads disease instead of damaging. I'm really not sure if this spell is anything useful, but better than nothing. Do we have anything else? No, we don't. So let's take a look at our summons and heroes. Alright. First, we have the giant amoebas. Well, the sprite could be better. They are only size 2, but they have 42 hit points. They have some protection, some magic resistant, and they have only one attack, Crush. They're amphibious, blunt resistant, magic being, need not eat, swamp survival, blind, undisciplined, disease immune, poisonous skin, and affliction resistance, basically affliction immunity. That's a rare tag. Then we have the Greater Otiag, who is a Trampler, a size 5 Trampler. Other than that, and higher hit points and strength values, is the normal Otiag. Life Leech Otiags have life drain tentacles instead of disease tentacles, so they can regain their hit points. Corpse Feaster Otiag. What do they have? They have Vitriol Breath. So they have an acidic attack. That's quite rare as well. an acidic ranged attack. So they are basically green lines. Mutant Otiarch with an extra tentacle. Mutant Otiarch with an extra leg with increased combat speed. Mutant Otiarch... What is this one? Okay. Tentacle, leg, and an amphibious Otiarch, yes. Plague Bearer Otiarch. As you can see, it is a stealthy commander. Well, it should be a commander. I just put it in the showcase in the wrong position. Stealthy Berserker Reaper. Press Unrest and Disease. And we have two heroes. We have the Primal Avenger. This is an even more degenerate version of the primitive Sakra with holy and water magic. And we have the Otiog Wizard, Oiful Uthavig, with 5 random paths, absolutely random ones. So it's a gamble, and he's also stealthy. And this hero is based on NPC from one of the Pathfinder games I played. I remember our GM introducing us to an Otiarch wizard under this name. That was fun. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time when I talk about Middle-aged Sakra. I mean Middle-aged Sssla. See you next time.